No, this isn't a vape. This is actually a very expensive handgun, chambered in 22 LR. It only holds 10 rounds. The barrel is not threaded. It has no detachable magazine. It's internalized on the top. I waited 3 years to be able to buy it, and it is $900. And this is a pistol that I'm gonna end up buying another one of. So this is the Ounce pistol from Third Bay LLC, and I actually found them on the bottom floor on my first year at SHOT Show, and I saw this guy with these firearms on the table, and I knew at that moment that I had to have one. The gentleman told me he'd love to sell me one or give me one, but he simply can't keep up with the demand, and that I'd have to get on the waiting list. So I went home after that SHOT Show and I got on the waiting list, and about 6 months ago, my name got pulled and I got told that I was able to purchase one of these pistols. However, the kicker was that this was almost 1,000 beans. I had been waiting 3 years though, so I coughed it up, I choked a little bit, I felt sick to my stomach, and I paid for it on my credit card. About 2 weeks later, it showed up, and when I finally got my hands on it, I regret nothing. Now, the reason I spent the money on this is because I love unique handguns, and especially tiny, unique handguns. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, or if you follow us on Instagram, you probably see me post a teeny tiny gun every once in a while, because I just love them. I like the engineering that goes into it, and I like the technology that goes into making things smaller. Now, this gun is no exception. The owner seems like such a cool guy. The pistol itself looks like a watch on the inside, and he hasn't sold out to a big company in order to mass produce these. They're still being made in very small batches, even after 3 years. So small, in fact, that I have serial number 252. Now, the uniqueness does not stop at just the fact that when it's folded, it doesn't look like a gun, but I think that is an important note that we're gonna cover. It doesn't look like a firearm at all when it's folded, so in your pocket, even if it's printing, it doesn't look like a gun. It really is just one of those things you can always have with you, even in social settings, like your liberal stepmother's house, where maybe you're not supposed to bring a gun over, or it's gonna cause a bunch of family drama. But that's only in the beginning, because when you actually open the firearm with the little switch on the rear and reveal that it is in fact a gun, it just gets weirder and more unique, and makes it a gun that I love even more. Now, this is clear, so I'm going to play with it. The barrel itself protrudes from the firearm, creating a long stroke recoil system for 22 long rifle. Now, that results in a 22 long rifle that recoils significantly less than every other 22 long rifle. Now, 22 long rifle itself already does not recoil very much at all, but this is noticeably less and noticeably softer shooting than most 22s that I own. But it doesn't just stop there. The Ounce pistol ejects the spent casings out of the bottom of the firearm, because it doesn't eject from the left or the right, and the magazine is fed on the top. Yeah, so opening the gun reveals this magazine that doesn't have any spring pressure at all. You simply set the rounds on top into the firearm, and then it swings them down when it fires. So the magazine being on the top means you can just set the rounds in, close it up, and you're good to go. If you have arthritis or thumb issues or problems loading magazines, there isn't any of that with this. You simply set the rounds down and you're good to go. Now, before I dive into this pistol any further, I've got to pay off that credit card bill. So thank you to my channel sponsors. They are the only reason that I'm able to keep the lights on, and you guys using code POLICE at their checkout keeps letting them know to support me so I can keep making videos like this for people like you. Let's get back into it. Don't worry, the weirdness of this pistol doesn't stop there, because with the help of these dummy rounds, I'm able to close it up and I can show you the chambering process, which is perhaps even more strange than loading the rounds themselves. This is worth noting before I show you how to chamber it. Every part of this gun is metal except for the plastic part that you actually hold, which is the grip. The main sections here are metal, and then the little pieces that hold the bullet is also a plastic rail. So to chamber a round, you pull down on this metal green lever here, and the gun begins to fold. As the gun folds, the barrel is taken immediately out of battery. The gun itself cannot go off in this position. It can only go off once the gun is locked open. As you close the gun, there's a little lever down here. You can see as I move it, it also moves the gun. You're going to hold that lever in the forward position and then close the gun here. The lever is held in the forward position, and when I release it, it's going to now be ready to chamber a round. At this point, I can then open the pistol completely, and you'll hear the round swing into place. And now a round is in place. Now at this point, I can actually top off the magazine, making it an 11+1 instead of a 10 round, pull the green lever, close it up, and be on my merry way with 11 rounds of .22 long rifle in a package the size of my palm. Now I'm going to show you that chambering process again because it's kind of cool. You swing the lever down, this thing protrudes here. As this lever on the bottom protrudes, you pull it forward, and then you force the gun down. It's a little stiff, it doesn't feel firm. When you release, this jerks into place. Now when I open it, it's going to have chambered that next round, and it's going to eject a round out of the bottom. In this case, a dummy round. Now, if you think the weirdness is done, it's not. There's actually a red indicator icon on the side here, letting me know that the gun is good to fire. But say you fire a round, it goes click and doesn't go bang, the barrel reciprocates, and the new round is dropped in. At this point, it did not eject the previous round, and you'll have an indicator that lets you know it has an issue. Now, this little marker also lets me know that I don't have a round chambered right now, so I've currently gotten rid of all my dummy rounds, and it's not bright red, letting me know that if I go click, it will not go bang. And no, it does not just stop there. The way you disassemble this pistol is by opening the magazine on the top and pressing on the sides here, up and down. It clicks in a rotational move, and then the whole front of the pistol just simply folds off. From here, you can completely disassemble this for cleaning or lubrication, which I do recommend that you lubricate this pistol as it's tiny and has a bunch of intricate parts and pieces. I used a super thin lubricant on mine, and that seemed to give me the best results, as I actually only have had 2 malfunctions in about 1,000 rounds fired through this, and I managed to get both of the malfunctions on camera when it was freezing cold. Now, I will say the reassembly of this is weird and a little bit tricky, as it feels like I do the exact same thing 10 times before I can finally click this back into place. Once I click it back into place, it is fine and it's been good to go. Now, the question you're probably wondering is, why the heck do I want one of these? Why do I need one of these? It's very overpriced, and for that, I would say kind of. Value-wise, for what you're getting, yes, it is in fact an overpriced carry pistol. However, the fact that these are all made by one dude, he's not selling out to a big company to mass produce them, all the warranty work is going to go through him. To me, this isn't seen as like a just go to the store and buy a gun. This is a very custom piece. I see it as kind of a work of art, and it's like wearing a nice watch. Now, as to why I'm buying a second one, well, I want one that's not shot and abused and carried, and this one is just that. My wife actually has realized that this fits her needs perfectly for the moment, so it's one of the guns that she carries. It's, like I said, super soft recoiling. She can shoot it plenty fast, and so for her, this is a great carry gun. And like I said, I've had really good reliability with it. Now, it's worth noting that these are picky on the ammunition. It says so right in the manual. So we've been running Federal Black Box 22 through it. The good news, 22 is super cheap, so you can buy some premium ammunition, you can buy a select type, it doesn't really matter, it's all going to cost you about 5 cents a round. And then the only 2 malfunctions we've had with this is a single failure to extract, which is a very common occurrence with 22, so I'm actually surprised it's only happened once so far, and then an issue with a round getting kind of stuck and not ejecting fully. Both issues were very easy to clear, even with freezing cold fingers where I couldn't feel anything, and only 2 malfunctions in 1,000 rounds makes me plenty confident when it comes to carrying this pistol. And of course, the fact that it can be shot really easily because it is in fact a 22. Anyone who's not super familiar with firearms or is learning can pick this up and get a general idea of how to use it. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There are obviously some restrictions with this. There's no way to easily drop the magazine if you have a malfunction. There's no way to rack the slide to clear a malfunction. The malfunctions require a complete disassembly of the firearm. I have been lucky in the sense that the only 2 malfunctions we've had were at the same time and at the range. And I think it had to do with the fact that it was freezing cold outside while we were shooting. Other than that, it has been extremely reliable for us. One of the other advantages with these being handmade, I guess, or very small batch firearms, is that any issues that occur, they quickly remedy. It's super easy for them to adapt and make changes. For instance, a guy who had one of these had the lever break. They fixed it. I haven't had that same issue. I haven't even been able to replicate that issue. And then I think a lot of guys who get these guns don't realize that it is in fact a firearm. It doesn't come lubricated. The first thing that I do is lubricate the firearms with one that is small like this with tons of tiny, tiny moving parts. A thin oil is totally fine for a lubricant versus something thick. The other obvious thing here to note is that the sights are on top of the magazine. So the barrel's all the way down here and the sights are all the way up here, which is a little bit weird when you're shooting it. However, it's not been an issue. It's very easy to make A-zone hits with it, 25 yards, and super easy to make follow-up shots because the barrel is basically just absorbing into your hand as it shoots, and the long stroke recoil system on a handgun is very weird. So that is the ounce pistol from Third Bay LLC, the tiny concealed carry handgun that you will probably not be able to buy or not want to buy because it costs so much money. I wasn't even going to make a video on this. I really like the pistol and I got it, like I said, because I think it's unique. It's very cool. But I got a ton of people DMing me about this because I made some reels on Instagram and some posts about it. So I decided why not make a long form video talking about it. Now there are a lot of things that I like about this pistol. For instance, the trigger pull is really, really good. It's a teeny tiny little hole for your finger. It's just an intricate design. And to me, it's kind of a engineering feat to be able to get something this small to do all of the things that this does, even if it looks weird, even if it costs a lot of money, and even if I had to wait 3 years to be able to buy it. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.